Hey guys, it's Steve. So today I'm going to be trying out the new Oakridge BBQ Black Ops Brisket Rub, and we're going to be cooking a 7.5 pound brisket flat on the Cookshack electric smoker. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get our brisket prepped. So I've got a nice 7.5 pound brisket flat that I got from Sam's Club. They normally have nice size briskets there. And I'm going to be using one of Oakridge BBQ's newer rubs. This is the Black Ops Brisket Rub. And I've heard a lot of really good things about this. I absolutely love the Oakridge BBQ rubs. The owner, a guy named Mike, is a great guy. They actually give 10% of all profit, 10% back to the Wounded Warrior Project. So I really like that, they're trying to, help some of those that are less fortunate out. And man, you just open this stuff up and it just smells amazing. I'll just read off of the packaging here what all is in this. It's got sea salt, chilies, which is a paprika and chipotle, garlic, black and white pepper, onion, raw cane sugar, coriander, ground Bolivian coffee, shiitake mushrooms, and other spices. I mean, if that doesn't sound amazing, I don't know what does. So my goal here today is to, I've already got some dumped in this bowl here. This is about half of the bag, so I've got about half a pound here. My goal is to get a nice thick crust, a nice thick bark on this brisket here. So first thing I'm going to do is, this thing's got a pretty thick fat cap on it. I'm just going to go ahead and trim some of this down, and I like to leave just a very thin layer of fat so it can still break down and baste the meat during the cooking process. But I like the rub to be able to penetrate on both sides, so I get rid of a lot of this fat. So I'll go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so I went ahead and took off most of the hard fat. So most of the hard fat was kind of like over here in this area. And I've just got about 1/8 of an inch of fat going all the way across the top. I don't take all of it off like I was saying. Now over here, this fat right here, I didn't really trim as much. This is that real squishy, gooey, soft fat over here. And this is gonna render down and just baste the meat really well. And now that I've taken all the hard fat off of this side right here, this is all nice and gooey like this. So that's kind of what I like to look for. Some guys leave the whole fat cap on, some take it all off. I like to just leave a little bit on like this. Now what I do at this point though, because I do want that rub to penetrate down to the meat, is I just take my knife and I just start scoring it. And I go in there pretty thick because you definitely want to get past that fat. And then come back this other way. And again, don't be shy here. Definitely get in there and get past that fat. Just like that. Can't really mess it up. Alright, just kind of like that. So that's going to be good for now. And that rub will work its way down in there. So with my clean hand still, I haven't touched the meat with my right hand yet, so I don't contaminate anything. We're going to go ahead and just get some mustard down on this guy. Give it a nice little rub just like that and flip it over. Look at that, man. Woo! That's a gorgeous looking brisket. Alright, so that's all I'm going to do right there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and move to the rub. And we're just going to give this thing a huge dose of this Black Ops rub. Again, I'm looking for a super thick bark on this. Just kind of give that a nice pat and just kind of rub that in. Gosh, man, that looks unreal. And I'm gonna continue and go ahead and get this whole thing rubbed down. All right, so there we go. I got all 4 sides. You definitely want to make sure you kind of, any extras that fall in the pan, pick those up, put all this good rub to use. And there we go. So we have a gorgeous looking brisket flat. I'm gonna let this sit out for about 30 minutes and then we'll pick back up out at the Cookshack. Alright guys, let me go ahead and show you my setup on our Cookshack Smokette Elite electric smoker here. So I've got the bottom lined in aluminum foil just to help with cleanup. It's not necessary, but if you have a lot of stuff dripping on the sides, it definitely helps. I've got a drip pan that's going to be directly below the brisket. I like to catch all those juices that are coming out of that brisket because it's an amazing basting sauce on the end, just to take the juices and pour it right back over before you serve it. And so I've got 2 nice little applewood chunks here, so we're just gonna pull our little wood box out here and drop these 2 guys in here. That's all you gotta do. You can see this heating element down here that I walked you guys through in the review video of this Cookshack. So this wood box just sits right on top of it, and that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this guy in, and I'm going to be cooking at 250 today. Alright guys, we've got our cooker up to 250. Go ahead and open it up here. And we're just going to pull this rack out. And here's our temperature probe that comes down just from the top. This actually hooks up into the top of the control panel up on top of the cooker, and just comes right down the chimney chute there, so pretty handy. So here's our gorgeous looking brisket. Slide that up in there just like that. Alright. And then we're just going to take this temperature probe here and just push it down in there right to the middle, just like that. Hold this here and make sure we got that good in there. That's all we're going to do, just like that, alright? So we're going to slide that back in there, make sure our drip pan's over as much of it as possible. That is looking perfect. So we're going to go ahead and get this door shut here, and we won't pick back up for, probably 5-6 hours. Alright guys, quick update for you here. It has been right at 7 hours and our internal temp is 175. I want to go ahead and speed the process up just a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and get this brisket foiled. And what I like to do is foil it kind of loosely so some of that steam can escape, but it also speeds up the cooking process. It would probably kind of continue stalled out here for a while if I don't do this. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. I'll get it foiled, toss it back in here, and then we'll pick back up when it hits an internal of about 195. Alright guys, here we go. So foiling the brisket definitely sped it up quite a bit. So you can see here we're at 193. I'm getting ready to pull it in just a few minutes, and I'm going to throw it in a dry cooler and let it rest for about an hour because we're getting pretty close to eating time. So we'll pick back up in the kitchen and we'll slice this thing open and take a look at it. Alright, here we go guys. So I've let this rest about an hour in the foil, and we're going to go ahead and bust this guy out. Look at that bark right there. That is just amazing. Alright, let me just roll it off the foil. And then we'll roll it over. Alright, let's go ahead and roll this over just like this. Alright, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and bust into this. Oh my gosh. Man, it's cutting through this like butter. I'm gonna show you this right here. Check that out right there, guys. Man, it's just like falling apart. Look at this. Barely even touching it, it's just falling apart. Whew, it's hot. See that amazing bark on that? How tender that was, literally just melting apart. Go ahead and try this real quick. Gosh, that is so good. Check that out right there. Look at that. Look how incredibly juicy and tender that is. Man, that is amazing. Great cook on the Cookshack. The Oakridge BBQ Black Ops just did a phenomenal job on this crust. That's probably the thickest bark I've ever seen on a brisket that I've cooked before. So I think that's a pretty successful cook. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Definitely check out Oakridge BBQ, and we'll see you again soon.